Hello, all, and welcome to Raw Cognizance. Well, it's here. The Jack Smith report has come out, and man, it's a doozy. I think we all figured it would be a doozy, but I think we underestimated how much of a doozy it was going to be. Over 170 pages long. I think the actual report is like 167, but it's a lot in here. It's a lot to read. If you got the time, I do recommend you actually read it. Most of you will do what I did, which is download the PDF, upload it to ChatGPT, and have it summarize it for you, which is fine. That's fine too. But I do recommend that you take the time to look into the nitty-gritty. Like, really read it. And understand how much he had Donald Trump dead to rights. Full stop. If Jack Smith, special counsel Jack Smith, had gone through with this conviction, Donald Trump would be in jail. Period. Every ounce of this report paints Donald Trump as the criminal, as the villain, as the evil SOB that we all know he is. And I'm happy, at the very least, no matter what happens on January 20th, it is going to be in the history books. We will always know Donald Trump as the criminal that he is. He cannot take this away. He can't take it away. We all know now. His reputation is ruined. Even if he takes office, we will see him as a criminal. I mean, he's already a convicted felon. He's a convicted felon because of the hush money case. Unconditional release, by the way, which, look, we all figured he was not going to serve jail time. But what this does is, if he gets arrested or gets in trouble for another crime that we all know eventually he will commit, he will be mandated to serve jail time. Whatever sentence that this gives him, that will be tacked on to a future sentence. It's just stacking on top of each other. But this report lets us know once and for all that the liar is a liar and the cheater is a cheater, which you already know. Now it can't be disputed. But the MAGAs will say, well, he hasn't been convicted, so it doesn't matter. Look, bitch, I'm cussing today. I'm cussing. Look, bitch, whether he's convicted or not doesn't matter. He's an insurrectionist. He's an adjudicated rapist. I'm not trying to do this with y'all today. You voted for a criminal, which makes you complicit in whatever he is and whatever he does. This report proves it. So I am here to break it down. I'm not going to break down every ounce of it, otherwise this would be like a 2-hour, 3-hour long video. It's that detailed. If I was to do a full reading of it, I would probably be here for like 4 or 5 hours. I'm going to give you a summary with notes from me and also ChatGPT. Some of you have already done this for yourself. And if you have, awesome. Give me your thoughts down below about what you read. Add on to the conversation. Here's what I have written. And these are notes compiled from not just me, but also ChatGPT. So we already know the basis of it. This was an investigation into the interference with the 2020 election. And of course, this is part 1. Part 2 talked about the possession of classified documents, which would have put him in jail even longer. Now, the reason why we haven't gotten part 2 is because that's still in court. Something's going on with 2 people involved with that. And because of what's happening with them in court, they can't unveil this because that could influence the court decision and stuff like that. Whatever. It's stupid. Whatever part 2 was going to be would have made this even worse. And it's already bad enough. So think about that. As I read this, it could always be worse. Nah, let me rephrase that. It's a lot worse than you think it is. So we all know why apparently this is not going to go through is because Donald Trump won the 2024 election. Did he really? Did he really? I'm even starting to question now if he actually did. Because reading this report makes me go, well, he has a reason to cheat. He has a legit reason to want to cheat. So now I really question if he won. I'm definitely going to be questioning every single day if he does take office on Monday. We still got 6 days. I'm going to be questioning every single day. Did you actually win? Did you actually win? After reading this report, it's clear that he did. Let's break down the 4 charges that Jack Smith had him for. The first one, conspiracy to defraud the United States. Google that and look at how many years you can get for that one alone, using false claims of election fraud to disrupt the lawful certification of results. I mean, he still does that now. Number 2, obstruction of an official proceeding. The insurrection, we know about this. Attempting to block Congress's certification of electoral college votes on January 6th. Conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. That's basically tacking on what number 2 is. And number 4, conspiracy against rights. 4 charges that would have put him in jail for the rest of his life. Now, what makes this work, because we all know, we can say or claim that he did this, but until you have evidence, it's just allegations. All the evidence. Does he have evidence? It is mountains of evidence. It is so airtight that honestly, if this would have gone to court and they chose not to convict him, you could forget about us being a democracy. We as a country would be violating the Constitution if we did not convict him of this. Hell, we're violating the Constitution now for not convicting him of this. Jack Smith has testimonies from, think about this, high-ranking officials, campaign staff, advisors, and of course, Donald Trump's statements that basically give himself away because the narcissist always tells on himself. He can't help himself. Can we talk about the fraudulent elector scheme? This man organized fake electors in 7 states to submit false certifications to Congress. States that he lost. He was going to organize fake electors to take those seats and still say he won, even though he lost. We don't talk enough about this. This alone should make people go, he should never, ever touch office ever again. This man is a liar and a cheater. We know about him pressuring states, officials in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan. The Georgia case, we know about him asking Georgia to find, 11,000 votes? He brings up the day where he called in his supporters to gather in front of Washington, D.C., which resulted in the attack on the Capitol. It's on camera. It's on camera. We see him doing it. He literally told them to go to the Capitol. We're getting into the sections now. So this is when we get to section 4, where Jack Smith himself said he was so confident in the strength of the evidence that he has that he would have convicted him 100%. If this would have gone to court, this would have been it. This would have been it for Trump. He would have taken him straight to jail. And the only thing that's stopping him from doing that right now is the fact that he won the 2024 election. Because he is prohibited from indicting a sitting president. Why? Presidential immunity. That's such a crock of shit. Can we talk about that? We all know the Supreme Court is complicit in helping them. Not just Trump, but everybody in his circle. They are complicit. Let's just call it like it is. They are against us. They do not want this to be a democracy anymore. Everybody involved with Donald Trump, his cult, these, I'm just going to call them Confederates, anti-Americans, they are going to do everything in their power to violate the Constitution, to destroy your democracy, and protect him. This is how Hitler came to power, guys. This is how Hitler rose to power. People sitting back and doing nothing or complying in advance. Overall, this is how he concluded it. So, he believes that releasing this report does 3 things. It is significant to the history. Historical significance. He says Trump's actions had no precedence in U.S. history. And he does represent a major threat to democracy. Period. He wanted to prove that once and for all, that Trump represents a threat to democracy. He says, even without trial, this underscores the importance of protecting the norms, transparency, public accountability. We all know now. The world knows what he did. Even if he gets into office, this doesn't go away. We know what he did. And this is also something that we should consider. Just because he's getting into office probably next Monday, and we won't be able to prosecute him for the next 4 years, that doesn't mean he can't be prosecuted if he survives the next 4 years. If he's alive by 2028, where he can't run again, hopefully so, then guess what happens? You can bring this back and prosecute him. I want to read this conclusion. He said this, and it is important. He says, this report reveals how fragile democracy can be and the importance of accountability at the highest levels. They waited 4 full years to even get started on this stuff. You had him the day after January 6th. Why did they drag their feet on this? I am very pissed off that they dragged their feet on this report. With all this evidence that he's gathered, if they had taken him to court a lot sooner, we wouldn't be in this mess. A majority of America voted for him. Guess what? He shouldn't even be an option to vote for. And if this case had gone forward, we wouldn't have been able to vote for him, period. Colorado could have gone forward with taking him off the ballot. This is an option that should not be on the ballot. I don't give a damn what a majority wants. I'm going to say that again. If a majority of you said we should all jump off a cliff, do you think I'm going to go along with that? Fuck you. Just because a majority of the people voted for it doesn't make it right. This is not right. And too many people are going for decorum and sacrificing democracy for doing so. He is a criminal. He doesn't care about you or me. And he would soon sell any of us if it meant he would get $5 in advance. He does not care about us. He might tell you he does, but no, he only cares about your money and your votes and what you do for him. And some of you are just complying in advance. You're complying because you think that would protect you. No! It won't protect you. It might make it easier for you. You might suffer less than someone like me who will not be complying in advance, but you are not safe. This proves it. This man lied. He lied to your face about everything, and you knew he lied. But apparently, we are in a spot where nothing's going to happen, right? That's what we're being told. Well, too late. We are living in unprecedented times. Anything can happen. We still got 6 days before he touches office. But let's just say he does get into office. There are impeachments that can happen. They can impeach him. He can still be held accountable. But the people in charge would need to uphold the Constitution and defend our democracy to do it. Otherwise, that Constitution is just a piece of paper. And our democracy, it dies. We become an oligarchy where the rich control everything. The rich get to break the laws and do whatever they want, and we have to essentially deal with it. That is what America is heading towards. I'm at that point, really, where if I have to hit the streets, let's hit the streets. Let's cause some mayhem. I'm serious. I am beyond done dealing with these assholes and them asserting their authority over our lives. If nothing is done, if the people in power won't do anything, then we need to. That's where I am. If nothing happens before January 20th, then we hit the streets. We hit the streets. That man should not touch office. He should not be in office. And I don't give a damn if a majority of these idiots picked him. You are complicit in a criminal running our country. And the world is laughing at us. The world is laughing at us. We all know we messed up letting this man even get close to the office. He shouldn't have even been voted in 2016. We need to quit Donald Trump. He is a drug. He is a cancer that is eating us from the inside out. He has got to go. He has got to go. And I'll be damned if I comply in advance. I will be damned if I sit back and just let him run this country into the ground over the next 4 years. You were lied to. You were duped. You were conned. Some of you weren't. Most of you weren't. Those of you following me. This report makes me so angry. He had him. He had him dead to rights. And as of right now, it looks like he's going to get away with it. And I pray something happens. We have a miracle that steps in. Even if it's Father Time himself, something steps in to stop this from happening. I'm going to keep hope alive. I'm going to hope that the true America will step up somehow, some way. Donald Trump does not represent America. He is not America. And the sooner we realize that, the faster things can be done. Thank you, Jack Smith, for doing God's work, for doing your job, doing what you could to protect whatever is left when it comes to the heart and soul of America. Now it's up to us. It's up to the rest of us to do what we need to do. Give me your thoughts. There's my breakdown. Let me get your thoughts on this now. What do you feel about this? Let me get out of here. This ain't right, y'all. All I can do is hope. Hope that something will be done. And if nothing is done, okay, we'll hit the streets. No going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. Thank you for watching. See you next time.